Shut the front door. We have the hack of all hacks. Y'all, today we're gonna learn everything there is to know about double-sided print and cut. Are you ready? Let's go ahead and dive right in. If you're new here, my name is Lauren and I'm a craft producer here at Makers Gonna Learn, where we strive to bring you inspiration, education, and motivation to get that Cricut out and start using it. And today, buddy, let me tell you, I have been wanting to do double-sided print and cut for forever, and we finally figured it out. Let's go ahead and dive right into Cricut Design Space. So, first things first, there is a very specific way that we want to create this project and very specific things that you want to create. This is going to work better if you are using basic shapes and you have either a plain pattern or just a solid color on the back. So the first thing you're going to do is decide what you want to create. Today, we are creating Valentine's Day cards because that is coming up. You can do birthday invitations, party invites, business cards, so many other things you can create with this, but I want to show you the concept first so that you can then take the concept and run with it and make anything and everything that your heart desires. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a shape. Now, for this one, like I said, because we are doing Valentine's Day cards, I'm just gonna grab this rounded corner square, and here in just a second, we will size it accordingly to what we want. But after I grab that square, I'm gonna hop over to the Makers Gonna Learn website, and I'm gonna start choosing the files that I want. So the first one that I'm going to grab is actually gonna be over here on page 1, and I'm going to download the pattern hearts. So to do that, I'm going to click this arrow pointing down. It is going to come in as a zip folder. You do need to double click that and unzip that. However, before we upload it, there is one other thing that we need to grab. So I'm just going to come over here to our cut files. This is one of our new cut files. I mean, look how stinking cute these Valentine's little pre-made cards are for you. So I think I want to do this wild for you. Once again, we're going to download that by clicking that arrow pointing down, coming up here to our downloads and double clicking that zip file so that we can make sure that it gets opened. And then we're just going to head back over to Design Space and start the uploading process. Once you are back here in Design Space, we're going to come over here to the left-hand toolbar, and down here at the very bottom, we're going to click Upload. We are going to upload image. I'm going to just pop my Finder back into view, and I'm going to grab the PNG version of our Valentine's Day card, drag and drop, continue. Now we do want this as a flat graphic, so I'm just going to make sure I select flat graphic and then continue and upload it to our canvas. Now, however, I am not done, and that is very large, but we are going to resize here in just a minute. Before I continue, I'm going to come back over here to upload. Once again, upload image, bring my Finder in, and now I'm ready for my pattern hearts. So I'm going to drag and drop that. We are going to hit continue. You can see that this one specifically does not have a background. No fear, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to alleviate that situation so that your Cricut's not trying to cut out every single individual piece. So we're just going to hit apply and continue. And once again, we want this as a flat graphic. Now, if you wanted it all to be the same color, you can choose a single layer, create the color that you want, and then flatten it. But today we are just choosing flat graphic. We're gonna click continue, and then we are gonna also upload that onto our canvas. Okay, y'all, like I said, these come in really, really large, so I am going to zoom out. And you can see my little 2x2 square over here. I'm just going to start sizing these down, just like this. And now we can come back over here and zoom back in. Now that we have these sized down, we are gonna choose what we want the size that we want our Valentine's Day card. Now this does come in as a locked square, so if I'm wanting to create a rectangle, I do need to click that unlock button, and I'm just gonna unlock it and stretch it to the size that I want, or you can type in the numbers. So we may do let's do a 3x4. See if that fits this size aspect ratio, just like this. Beautiful. And now what we can do, you can actually leave this as a sharp edge. That's perfectly fine. I still am looking for a round edge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna duplicate this first, bring it over to the side, and then I'm just going to bring this here in front. I'm gonna move it to the back and make sure that it doesn't cut anything that I want off of it. And you can see when I zoom in that it still has all of the information that I want, like that. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select both of those and I'm going to slice that. Now, this is not a necessary step, but this is what I'm looking for right here. I wanted those sharp edges gone. So this is exactly what I was looking for. And now I have this size, and all I have to do now is size my hearts according to what I want. Now, keep in mind when you're working with a pattern, the larger the pattern, the less you're gonna see of the hearts. If you want your pattern to be busier, make it smaller. If you want it to be not so busy, make it larger. That's gonna be completely up to you. So once we have done that, sized it accordingly, I'm going to select both of these layers. Once again, I'm gonna come down here to the bottom right-hand corner and I'm going to select slice. Now, once that has sliced out, this is why I duplicated the same size shape, is because I want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of this gray slice result and that one as well. But you have to create a background for this pattern to sit on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change the color of this to whatever color you want. If you want to try to match this pink, you can. I personally am just going to keep it white, and I am gonna change the canvas background so that you all can see this a lot better. So once I have changed that to white, I'm now going to select both of these layers, and you can tell that I have selected them both because they are both green on the layers panel. Once you have done that, we're gonna come up here to align and we're gonna center those pieces together. Now they fit beautifully, exactly where they need to go, but this is not the final step just yet. With them still both selected, you must come over here to our right-hand layers panel and flatten those together. Now, what that is going to do is that allows this to just cut. It tells your Cricut that you just want this cut on the edge and not all these little tiny pieces on the inside. And y'all, that's pretty much it as far as setting it up in Design Space. The next work comes in with your printer. So what we are going to do now is we are going to go to Make It. You do need to save your project. We'll just save this as Valentine's Day card. And we want to put these on 2 separate mats. So to do that, we need to click these 3 little dots here. We're gonna move the object to a new mat. And now you are just going to place both of these in each of the respective corners, okay? So, depending on what you print first, we'll go ahead and print this Wild for You first. And I'm going to get it as close to this corner border right there as possible. One thing that I love to do is if it's not, to get it to snap, I kind of move it up past the red dotted lines, and I'll show you, we'll zoom in. So what I like to do to make sure it snaps exactly where I want it, I like to move it up past those dotted lines, let it go, it snaps there, and then I can move it to the side and it snaps there. And you can see it fits super, super tight up against that corner. So this is gonna be the most important part when it comes to double-sided print and cut, and that is knowing your printer, okay? We must know our printer. It took us a while to really get familiarized with our printer. If you don't know how your printer prints, my suggestion to you is take a piece of paper, put a black X in either the top right or the top left corner. Now, because this page is showing me that it should print in the top left, I'm going to put it in the top right to see exactly where it prints. So you can see I have put this X in the top right and it should print on the top left. Now, I'm going to send this through our printer and I'm going to show you exactly where it prints according to where this X is. So from here, we're going to click continue. We are going to send to printer. Now I am using our Canon TS9500 series. I am gonna go ahead and add the bleed because we have a solid color on the front, and I always use system dialog. After you have toggled on use system dialog, we're gonna click print. It is gonna pull up behind here. Once again, like I said, I'm using our Canon TS9500 series. I am feeding from my rear tray and I'm turning it to best quality. That's gonna be the most important thing, is feeding from the rear tray and printing on best quality. So after that, we're gonna click print, and then I will bring it in and show you where it prints according to where I put our X. Okay, so this is why it is so important to know your printer. I put our X, you all saw, on the top right corner. I then place the piece of paper just like this in the printer with the X on the top right corner. And this is how it printed. So it printed it upside down and on the opposite side. So now, depending on where your X is after you print, you will then need to flip your page. If it printed here, all you are gonna do is place your page, you're gonna turn it this way in your printer, and you will have to manipulate on your canvas as well, and I'll show you how to do that. So if this is how your printer prints, all we're gonna do is flip it this way, place it back in our printer. We're gonna go over here to our second mat. We're gonna edit our second mat. We're gonna zoom out and we're gonna place it on the opposite corner as close to that top as we did. Same way, we'll zoom in, get it to snap as close to this corner as possible, and then we're gonna click done. And now we can send this one to the printer before we cut. Another thing that is extremely, extremely important when you are feeding your paper from your rear tray is to make sure that your guides here are very tight on the paper. You don't want them to be, you can see here there's like wiggle room there. You don't want that wiggle room. You want to place your paper in your printer and make sure that you pull your guides to touch either side of the paper. That way it does not move and it stays secure. And y'all, look, here's our front, here's our back. Another thing that you can do to check to make sure that it lines up, take your paper, hold it up to the light. I can see that mine is just a little bit off, but because we have this pattern on a white background, I really don't think you're gonna be able to tell that much. But I do want to make sure that this front cuts perfectly, because the front, where it does have full color. So I'm gonna go back to mat number 1 and we'll go to our share screen. I'm gonna go back to mat number 1 and that's what we're going to cut from. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to line this up on the mat according to where Cricut is telling me to put it. You want this triangle in the top left corner. We're gonna burnish this onto our mat. We are cutting this on medium cardstock. We're gonna load this into our machine and keep our fingers crossed. Okay, y'all, moment of truth. We're gonna unload our mat. We're gonna do this together. It looks like it did pretty good. Ah! Look how good that looks. Y'all, it really isn't that hard. And like I said earlier, it does work better with your basic shapes and patterns on the back, but I'm very impressed with how this double-sided print and cut turned out. So, are you all as impressed as I am? Because I think I'm gonna be doing this a lot more than I ever thought that I would. There are so many different things that you can do with this. For example, look at this cute little birthday card that we've done double-sided. You can do business cards, and you can see here, business cards would be super cute front and back, easy for you all to create. Valentine's Day cards, so many different things that you can do a double-sided print and cut for. Let me know in the comments what's the first thing you're gonna make double-sided print and cut. I cannot wait to hear what you all plan to create. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell notification so that you can get notified every time we get crafty. And if you want to learn more about your Cricut machine, maybe you're the type of person that invested a lot of money into your machine, but you're so confused on what to do or how to even use it, make sure you click that first link down below. Check us out. With our membership, we have over 16,000 plus cut files, thousands of fonts, and we release new ones every single month. On top of that, we have so much curriculum to help you go from a Cricut novice to a Cricut pro in no time. Actually, specifically 30 days. We have a 30 days to master your Cricut course that's going to really help you know and understand your machine. So if you're interested in learning more, make sure you click that first link down below so you don't miss out. If you want to learn more about print and cut, make sure you check out this video here.